Hey out there in YouTube land, I'm Dan, I'm the Happy Fish guy, and I just want to show you guys what I got going on with my angelfish tanks. These right here are pearl scale red shoulder angelfish mix. This is a mating pair of red shoulder angelfish, and I think it's kind of hard to see, but on that pot back there, there's about 400 little wigglers. So I kind of got busy the other day, didn't pay a lot of attention to these guys, and I guess they laid eggs, and yeah, so I guess the cycle's going to continue. This tank I set up, I think, about 3 weeks ago. They laid eggs on the ceramic and they ate them all. Then I had a little outbreak of the brown diatom algae. I got a UV sterilizer. Trying to dig it up real quick. Right here. And basically, you never want to look at this light. It's a UVC sterilizing light. I put it in the power filter back there and flipped it on and ran it for 2 days straight. Probably killed off some beneficial bacteria that was in the water column. But yeah, I don't like to use these too much because they upset the balance of the beneficial bacteria, but sometimes they're needed. I like using this one because I can pop it inside of the power filters back there. I also have a black pipe that I put it into. It's got an end, a 90-degree angle and a 90-degree angle with a piece of foam. And I drop a bubbler in there, and I don't have to worry too much about the reflection. But yeah, once again, UVC, it'll blind you, it'll cause cancer. So yeah, very, very powerful at killing everything. And so as a last ditch effort, I use my UVC. And the reason I mention this is because a lot of people have to use methylene blue or some other stuff to avoid an outbreak of fungus on the eggs. And I've seen a number of videos that talk about using that. I'm not against using the methylene blue, but I think it probably messes with the cycle going on. This is one of the rare tanks that I don't have snails in. I plan to add them. But as you can see, I got my plants. I'm probably agitating my fish right now because of their wigglers. That's why they're so defensive. You can see their bars are out. Yeah. So a friend of mine lent me some money, and I went to pay him back, and he said go buy the red shoulder angelfish and see if you can get them to breed. So yeah, my friend Seth got me into this hobby, and I tell you what, I'm just enjoying it. Kind of got a little sidetracked off of that methylene blue comment, but I guess what I'm getting at is if you get a good cycle in your tank and you keep the water parameters correct, you don't have to add chemicals to keep things in check. Now I do want to say I do add minerals to this. I add C-Chem Flourish, and I'm probably going to start using the aquarium co-ops. I forget what they call it. Easy Green, I think, is what aquarium co-ops fertilizer product is. I'm going to give that a test on some of my tanks to see how that works out. Kind of hard to see in the back of this tank. I got a whole bunch of guppy grass, and I got some bio balls. I'll zoom in and show you guys those. The filter up there is filled with bio balls. I also have a sponge filter going on, and just going to give you guys a snail count for this 20-gallon. Yeah, probably got about 30 snails in there. I don't currently see snail eggs. Oh wait, no, there's snail eggs. So we're probably going to have an explosion of snails. And I see some of the real small babies. So, yeah, I guess if I want my snail population to increase, I just start overfeeding for a tank with the babies in it. Yeah, probably don't have to worry about that too much. As far as the light I'm running up here, just got to see if I got the package for that. Let me grab it real quick. Whoa. Look at that. Dropped my phone. Zoom Ed, Flora Sun, Max Plant Growth. Anyway, I guess now that I dropped my phone, it's a good time for the zoom in. So, as you can see, there's probably about 400 wigglers on there. They got their yolk sacs for about the next day, maybe 2 or 3 days. But after that, I'll have to start feeding them freshly hatched baby brine shrimp. Let me go ahead and zoom in on the parents real quick. Keeping guard on one side is the male. Yeah, pretty fierce looking. And then on this side is the female. Yeah, what I really like about these is there's a little bit of a tinge of blue in their tails, and you can't really see it on this camera because it doesn't just doesn't pick it up. But yeah, really excited to have that little ceramic pot, Walmart, 59 cents. Took a file, I scraped a bunch of lines into it so that there was some stuff they could stick onto. Yeah, my male's getting upset, so I better pull out of there. I'll flash over to this tank. So, baby angelfish, big bunch of floating guppy grass back there. As I mentioned, a few bio balls on the bottom, but I think the most important thing I got going on is that filter sponge right there. I do want to mention that power filter back there has no foam sponge, so I'm gonna probably have to fix that immediately. So anyway, I just want to say thanks for watching my crazy fun fish videos. Hopefully you found this informative. If you have any questions on using the UVC light or anything else, yeah, go ahead and put it in the comment, and if I don't know an answer, I'll try to do a little bit of Google research. If it's a, you know, I don't want to say a good question because every question is a good question, but I'm trying to learn as much as I can. So if you guys got a tip or a hint or a trick, or you see something that I should be doing right, let me know in a comment, because in the end I want to have happy fish. That's why I'm trying to be Dan, the happy fish guy. I'm gonna try to do an update on my rainbow tails and my fire tail guppies. And then one other thing I want to let you guys know is I'm trying to do tanks for veterans. And that's where I show up with like a 10 or a 20-gallon fish tank. I throw down some angelfish or some guppies and cycled water, cycled filter, cycled gravel, some plants, some snails, some fish, and try to, as fast as I can, get a tank down that's got what's needed so that they can have success in the hobby. People have been asking me where I'm at with that, and I'll tell you guys, right now I'm trying to figure out the top 10 fish and the easiest way to put the information I need on 2 pieces of paper, and then also a web video, probably about 10 minutes long, about the easiest fish to use, the amount of gravel suggested, and all this information I'm trying to collect from not only old people in the hobby, but new people to the hobby like myself. I'm new to this hobby, and people go, yeah, you probably don't know a lot. And I go, well, if I didn't know a lot, I wouldn't be having the success that I've had. And, you know, people, no, I don't want to bag on the old timer, but people go, I've been doing it this way for 20 years. And sometimes that just means to me that you've been doing it wrong for 20 years. Not that I know what I'm doing, but, well, I got happy fish and they're breeding. I've got rainbow tail and fire tail guppies, and that's going on. And I haven't killed a fish in a while. So I got 10 fish tanks in my bedroom, and I got about 200 gallons. And I think in every tank, life is exploding. And yeah, I guess that's what makes me the happy fish guy, is I'm surrounded by happy fish. And in the end, I realized that I'm not as much a fish keeper as a water quality control manager. And that's basically what I look at, is I keep track of the water in all these tanks, and I monitor the water quality and if a change needs to be made, I change it. But I basically rely on the gravel, the plants, the snails, the food, the light that does produce the PAR, which is the photoactive response in the leaves, which causes the leaves to absorb the fish waste, and that's what causes the plants to emit oxygen into my tanks. So that's how I have a full cycle. I have to put the correct energy into the tank, the correct amount of food, have the snails to eat up the excess. So yeah, if you don't have a balanced tank, or you have a way to tell me how to balance my tank more, please let me know in a comment, and check out my Tanks for Veterans, and please leave me a comment over there so I can get off on a better track. Thanks again for watching my videos, and look forward to me putting out a new video in about the next 2 to 3 days. Maybe even tonight if I get around to it. Thank you again for watching my videos, and yeah, bye.